So you've been working hard detailing your project, and then all of a sudden you release everything for fabrication, and there's that one piece that you forgot to make a drawing for and include in your submittal package. So then all of a sudden you get a call from this guy right here, and he's basically screaming at you on the phone, "Where is this piece? I need this out in the field right now. Why did you miss this?" So here at CMK BIM Consulting, what we did is we created a tool called Left to Draw. And what this does is it easily scans the objects in the model and then scans all the drawings in your drawing list, and it automatically lists out all of the different single parts or assemblies or even cast units for concrete to tell you what things are missing, and it highlights those and then allows you to easily zoom in and find those pieces or assemblies or cast units that need to have drawings created. As you get those drawings created, you can whittle down and remove the items from the list to make sure that you've caught everything. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in action. Now we're here within the Tekla Structures model. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Document Manager or the Drawing List. You'll see here that I've got a series of assembly as well as single part drawings created in the model. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Applications and Components panel. I'll go to the CMK BIM group, and I'm going to go ahead and double click and open up the Left to Draw application. All we need to do is press the Find Left to Draw button, and here at the lower left hand corner you'll see the progress of it scanning through the model objects as well as the drawing list to identify parts that don't have drawings. You can see all the parts that don't have drawings turn a color red in the model. They also appear here in the list. In the case of, for instance, small parts here like this washer, we may not be able to see that red part highlighted, especially when we're zoomed out on the model. When we select that here and press the Highlight Objects, it's going to select it and zoom us to that particular location in the model. We can see here that we don't necessarily need drawings for these nuts and these washers. So what we can do is we can select both of these items and we can filter the list to show us all of those piece marks. Here we can see that this is a series of M2s as well as M3s, the nut and the washers. We're going to go ahead and remove these because we don't need to make drawings, and we just want to go ahead and remove the red colors so we don't accidentally review these again. So I'm just going to go ahead and say remove from the list, then I'm going to refresh the colors, and you'll see that they now show gray, so we don't need to process them. Now let's get back to the list of drawings that we still need to work on. Here we can see that there's a submaterial part P14, so I'm going to go ahead and select that and highlight that in the model. I can see that there's a shear tab here that needs to have a single part drawing created. I'm going to go ahead and say create single part, so create drawings single part. That drawing is now created, and again I can select all the P14s in the list, remove those. I'll then update the colors, and we'll see that that is now removed from the list. Now we've got a few beam drawings that we need to create. So let's go ahead and select all three of these, and then I can go ahead and select those in the model, and then all three of those objects are selected. We can right click, say create drawings, assembly drawing, and now those drawings have been created. Once the drawings have been created, I can go ahead and remove those items from the list. We can refresh our colors. Now it looks like I think I have everything having drawings created here in the model. Now let's double check myself. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and press the Find Left to Draw again. It's going to then scan through the model in the drawing list, and really all I see here is the M2 and the M3, which I don't need drawings for. So technically I have all the drawings created of the parts in the model that I was looking for to release for fabrication. Now let's say that we don't want to have to deal with these pesky nuts and washers and constantly reviewing and filtering those out. So you can also use a selection set or selection filter in the model to remove particular items that don't need to be scanned by this tool. So here I'm basically saying do not select nuts and washers, and so I'm just going to say select all, and when I zoom in you'll see that nuts and washers aren't reviewed here or aren't selected. So when you have objects selected in the model and you press the Find Left to Draw, it's going to scan through the drawings in the drawing list and then only scan through the selected parts and only compare to see if those selected parts actually have drawings in the drawing list. So now notice in this case here that the M2 and the M3 nut and washer doesn't appear because it wasn't a selected object. Now, what's the other benefit of this selected objects based scanning? Well, if you have a very large project and you may only be working in this particular phase or sequence at a time, you can select only say phase 1 and then go into the drawing list, and you can also only select the single part drawings or the assembly drawings that are for phase 1, and then you can do the scan that way as well. So again, on really large projects where you have only a certain area of the model complete and you only want to scan if drawings are completed in that particular sequence or phase, you can select the objects that you think are in that phase. You can select the drawings that you think that you made for that particular submittal package or sequence and phase, and then you can press the Find Left to Draw button, and it's only going to scan those selected drawings and those selected model objects to see if there's any drawings missing. You can download and try Left to Draw for free from the Tekla warehouse. After the free trial, you can go ahead and purchase it for $49. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, Keyack, at CMK BIM Consulting.